Nights at Freddy's, directed by Emma Tammy, was a $20 million budget movie distributed by Universal Pictures and backed by Blumhouse Entertainment. With the star cast of Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, and Elizabeth Lail, Five Nights at Freddy's quickly became a highly anticipated movie for filmgoers. However, this was not the only reason as to why Five Nights at Freddy's received so much attention in 2023. When it first started coming out, being based off of a popular video game, Five Nights at Freddy's, this film was in the work for many years. Scott Cawthon, who is the game's creator, was reached out to by Warner Brothers Pictures in April of 2015. This was the first instance where fans had received news that there could be a possibility that Five Nights at Freddy's would receive its own franchise film series. However, from 2015 through 2023, this film went through the ringer, switching up directors, switching up cast, switching up production companies, and so much more. Eventually, in May of 2017, Jason Blum was excited to announce he and Cawthon would be working on the film together. The reason as to why I personally adore this film was because I had been a fan ever since this was just a video game. For those who have yet to see the gameplay, just know that on YouTube of 2014, it took over the world. Being such a small indie game, Cawthon was able to create the most lore-prominent video game the world has ever seen with just a simple story of killer animatronics and a night guard for a pizzaplex that later became the film we all know and love. This film, in my opinion, challenges other films we have seen in this class, since it does have a PG-13 rating, and honestly, it's not all that scary. However, what does make it so special is the fan base and the storytelling aspect of it all. For those who don't know, this film has extensive lore behind it, and it would take me hours to explain that lore. But this is what drove the fans crazy, and this is what personally drove me crazy. I spent hours watching YouTube videos on what FNAF was truly about, and honestly, once you dive in deep, you'll never be the same again. And this is what makes the film so good. Not only does it challenge other films we've watched in class, but I feel it also closely relates to the film's Audition and The Thing, since it takes a real life experience and adds in a sort of uncanny, monstrous atmosphere to them all. Making the horror happen in a sort of low-quality Chuck E. Cheese, our childhood fears are explored as the film discusses the creepiness of that and the dangers of being a child as well too, with additional details on kidnapping and forced adulthood. Overall, I think FNAF should be the final screening since it's just an iconic movie and one that received almost the same fan-based reaction as Barbie. And if you don't believe me, look it up. People were dressing up as characters from the film and everything. Here's me with my fave character, Chica, and when I went to watch the film, so yeah, this was definitely my Barbie. Now that I've finished the formal part of this assignment, let me show you my favorite scene from the whole entire film.
Warm